The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to TV1 News. I'm Maristela Kelaton.
And I'm Jasmine Irujak. Join me later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, Maru says PNG ready for investment. Mine reopening depends on Compo agreements. And Kamika excited to lead Fiji Bati out. The opening of the Porgera mine is targeted towards the end of the year, depending on how fast compensation agreements can be reached between the landowners and New Porgera Limited, with Barrick New Guinea spending $4 million a day to keep the mine going. It is looking to restart the mine at the earliest. The reopening will mean the start of the flow of benefits in both royalties and spin-offs to landowners of the Porgera Valley.
CEO Mark Bristow is keen to get the compensation agreements done quickly so work can progress immediately. While negotiations and agreements are yet to be reached on this subject, Bristow says to fast-track the process, he is open to adopt the compensation arrangements of the old Porgera with a little bit of retouch to reflect the changes.
I think everyone's motivated, and again, the compensation that we're proposing, it would be good to get that settled on a ratio or some arrangement that we can just add to what was already been compensated under the old Porgera structure. And that would make it easy and give everyone a fill-up.
Compensation will only be for parties in the Porgera Valley and does not include landowners of other utilities that are being sourced outside of Porgera, including the Heights Power. Barrick is working with the government leaders of Hela province to come up with something for the landowners along the power line and power station in Heights.
Compensation is specifically to landowner categories. So we have had that discussion with the Hela governor. We've been working on something with him for a while. And again, that structure that we have worked out with the Hela governor should provide the incentives for and benefits to the Hela people along the power line and around the power station.
Bristow says while compensation is an added benefit for the landowners, the real benefit is the carried equity to the Enga provincial government and the landowners. Funding for these equities have been paid for by Barrick. Barrick has also undertaken to complete the relocation exercise within a set time once production starts. However, Bristow said this exercise will consider the legitimacy of settlers impacted in this exercise, as they believe there are people who have moved in and settled in the mine lease area and now claiming to be affected. He has welcomed the support from major landowner groups who have committed to manage security on the ground to ensure Porgera comes back online as soon as possible. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
Members of the PNG Teachers Association can now access their personal information via an online database system. PNGTA is moving towards a more digital outlook, and this initiative is part of its new corporate plan.
Software developer of the online database system for teachers, Emmanuel McClay, said it took 3 months for them to collect all data from PNGTA members. The application was launched recently and the developers aim to start training the members next week.
The application was ready. The main purpose of the web application was to do an update for the common role with the members of PNGTA and and eventually to the development of the actual database system. It has been over, I think, 50 years for PNGTA to work without a proper record filing a database system to effectively address the needs of its members. So they saw the need for an involvement for a data system to be in place to assist the teachers, assist the board to effectively address the issues that has been facing the teachers of this nation.
The software development team will also visit the regional branches to conduct training for the members there.
So we are looking forward to that. At the same time, there are issues that PNGTA wish to address. They believe, and we also believe, that with the data system in place, database system in place, they will effectively address issues like leave fares, appointments, and other issues that is affecting the teachers that are member of PNGTA, with actual figure, with actual real-time information.
The database contains teachers' personal information, teachers' education background information, teachers' personal inspection, teachers' appointments, teachers' salaries, teachers' knowledge and skills in implementation curriculum, teachers' training prior to the implementation of SBC.
Speak now. Teachers nationwide. We are now having our files, manual files in the offices. If the offices are burnt, then your manual file is destroyed.
PNGTA was established in 1971, purposely to assist teachers' welfare, and now with the software, teachers will be able to have their information saved and will be easily accessible. Jasmine Irujak, TVWAN News.
In response to public anger and frustration over the poor delivery of government services, a meeting of governors earlier in the year brought about certain reforms. The reforms intend to address lack of service delivery in provincial centers, rural areas, concentration of services in provincial centers and Waigani, politicians and public servants isolated from rural populations, and weak community and LLG decision-making powers. On Monday, a meeting of the bipartisan committee and the technical task team that will provide oversight on the implementation of the governor's consultative meeting resolutions took place in Port Moresby. The committee and task team will work closely with the Provincial and Local Level Service Monitoring Authority and the Department of Provincial and Local Level Government Authority and liaise with other relevant authorities to formulate a final decentralization policy framework that sets out clear parameters for empowering the provinces.
And that task is to look at the provincial government system in the country and based on the experiences of provincial governments throughout the country and see where we can make improvements. Improvement comes with administrative responsibility as well as legal responsibilities.
The committee comprises of 9 governors and 3 members of parliament, led by Chairman and Governor for Morbe Province, Luther Wenge.
We are responsible government. They go to the election and they make sure we are voted. Their political mandate is given to us. And we must answer to them because they have confidence and trust in us. We must answer them. Unfortunately, Minister, the organic law on provincial and local level government, which was passed in 1984 and came into operation in 1995, which is supposed to help us to deliver that government, provincial government, local level government, which will stand to deliver social services and infrastructure services to those areas, have not effectively done so.
The committee will be supported by a high-level task team composed of key national agencies and a few learned Papua New Guineans. The magnitude of damage caused by the earthquake in Medan 2 weeks ago has been classified as low and does not warrant a national or international call-out. This is the outcome reached following days of assessment and evaluation of quake-stricken communities of Kaukau Island and Rai Coast. The Medan Disaster Coordination Team is now working on recommendations and a way forward to ensure the affected communities return to normal.
Following the assessment of the disaster-affected communities, relief supplies have now been dispersed to those who need it the most. Medical supplies for Saido have been dropped off on Saturday morning, together with relief items from the International Organization for Migration. These supplies include 4 bales of mosquito nets and blankets bound for Mebu. Since downgrading the distress call to the provincial level, one preliminary measure agreed upon by the coordination team was to install temporary seismic monitors around the perimeter of the epicenter. The assistance of the seismic monitors will come from UNDP and installed by Geohazards.
Yes, there's the big earthquake that's happened last week. After a big earthquake, normally there are aftershocks. So aftershocks will happen. It will continue for some time, and then it will slowly die away.
The 4 seismic monitors will be strategically placed at Walum, Basamuk, Saido, and in Medang. According to Mr. Moi Hoi, these temporary monitors will enable officers to detect motions being felt so they could generate reports. He advised the public not to panic, as it is normal for aftershocks to continue following earthquakes of bigger magnitude. He stated that during big quakes, rocks beneath the Earth's surface get displaced, and over time, an adjustment process takes place in order for the rocks to reposition themselves back in place. He states that during this process, smaller tremors or earthquakes will occur.
Damages in terms of houses, the schools, the infrastructure, basically they are kind of intact. Food gardens, only few of them that got damaged due to small slips here and there. It's not major, and that's within the epicentral area in Mebu and surrounding areas. Along the coast, there are small, also sporadic damages that happen, but it's all kind of minor. So in that way, we see that although the earthquake was big, it was fortunate there's not much damage been done to the community.
In the meantime, authorities are calling on those impacted to come to terms with the disaster and start rebuilding their lives while waiting for government intervention, if any. The Geohazards and Physical Management team has also warned people not to believe in false earthquake alerts, as earthquakes cannot be predicted and people should not be misled to believe that an earthquake could occur after a certain period of time. Susan Oriape, TVWAN News.
In 2022, the Ministry of Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs called for local level government special purpose authorities to submit their reports for the previous 3 years. Not all SPAs submitted those reports. However, DPLLGA Minister Soroyoe says the ministry through the department has analyzed the LLG SPA reports, and a report of the findings has been compiled with recommendations. This report will be submitted to the NEC and then presented to Parliament.
Special purpose authorities are important entities of the government that comes into being very much in line with the development project, more so PNG, LNG, and special purpose authorities have never really delivered to our people. Millions and millions have gone to special purpose authority, particularly areas where major project activities had taken place. Here I was fully briefed by my senior officers, and the concern they raised was that funds are not reaching the people. You know, our people are still staying in remote part of Papua New Guinea where the project sites are. Moran, Heights, where the gas plants are, Kutubu. Things that are promised to have electricity, road system, hospitals, have never reached our people. Our people are still living the way they have been living for many, many years, hundreds of years. So this is the biggest concern. Time is wasted by executives of these SPAs fighting among themselves, taking matter to court, and most of those SPAs are currently in court. So much money is wasted.
You're watching TV1 News. More local news when we return.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot and talk, young or old, as calories, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite reminds. Tennessee Cola, scale rice on scale price. Tennessee Cola, scale rice on scale price. Amber, you like it?
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaroke, up a big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Ton, 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 hino, ton, ton.
Ni momo.
If you can't stop thinking about the Hino range of trucks, then you better drive one today. Hino. Ton, ton.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trubla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Hi, I'm Darren Robertson, an expat pom, chef and part owner of the Three Blue Ducks in the Sydney beachside suburb of Bronte. A few years ago, I started thinking about making a shift towards more sustainable cooking, but I've become fascinated with cooking over simple fire or hot coals. I just want to see how far I can push that theory and what these simple elements can help me create. So welcome to my charcoal kitchen. Let's light the fires, stoke the coals and get cooking.
Hello, WWE Universe. This is WWE superstar Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades. I'm here to set it all on fire. Watch WWE on Digicel TV.
This is shaping up to be the best Halloween haul ever.
Yeah, trick or treat. Oh, Reggie, it's Ricky.
Yeah, Tricky and Treaty, our favorite candy-related activities.
No, Reggie, I'm stuck.
Like where, Scoob?
Here.
Around here?
Uh-huh.
I'll try ringing the bell. We'll just use our foot as leverage.
Ooh.
Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo premieres Saturday, October 21st, 7 p.m. on HBO Family.
Welcome back. Children at Bookbill Pekingese Library Learning Centers in Papua New Guinea marked Global Handwashing Day with interactive activities emphasizing early education on hand hygiene to prevent diseases like TB. Through play and song, including the popular Happy Birthday technique, children learned the importance of washing hands thoroughly. Teachers presented guidelines on when to wash hands with a focus on washing hands after using the toilet and before meals. BBP ensured ample supplies of soap and bubbles, underlining the vital link between health and education. The initiative aims to cultivate a lifelong commitment to healthy hand hygiene in children. The Fresh Produce Development Agency celebrated the World Food Day at Arab on Monday, October 16. Chief Executive Officer Mark Warinu reminded people about the importance of food and its importance to sustaining livelihoods. The theme for this year is Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind.
In honor of World Food Day, Fresh Produce Development Agency shared food with organizations who participated in commemorating the day at Arab in Morobe Province. Food was presented as gifts to the Buimo Corrections Facility, Engau Provincial Memorial Hospital, and Lay City Mission. FPDA Chief Executive Officer Mark Vorinu said food is the lifeline of the people. Without food, people cannot survive. Vorinu said FPDA works with farmers every day and understand the value of food. As part of this year's World Food Day event, FPDA shared this value with those who needed it most. In 2022, FPDA celebrated the day in Goroka and gave food gifts to UOG, Goroka Provincial Hospital, Beyond Correctional Services, and the displaced people of Lufa. Chairman of the Engau Provincial Memorial, David Visink, thanked FPDA for its generosity. Freddy Mo, TVWAN News.
Sarang village is located in the Ward 8 area of Sumgilba local level government in Sumkat district, Medan province. The community is highly dependent on fishing for livelihood and over the years have ventured into partnership with the National Fisheries Authority. It's recently celebrated 10 years of its local fisheries business called Aimi Yarong Business Incorporated.
The coastal village of Sarang in Sumkar district, Medang province recently celebrated 10 years of operating its fisheries business, Aimi Yarong Business Incorporated. This business venture is a coastal fisheries program established with the assistance of the National Fisheries Authority. Greg Sirar, acting director of the Medang Provincial Fisheries Division, acknowledged these villages for successfully implementing the NFA fisheries program. The Governor's Special Projects Officer, Francis Tavatuna, encouraged villages to venture into such programs and SMEs so that it would enable the government to support and assist with funding. He also wants to see financial literacy trainings and certification adapted into the program.
Gaman bliwem pakim mon 5 million kina lo SME. 1 million mi pakim lo supporting youth SME. 1 million block agriculture and livestock SME. 1 million kina and blow.
The village has embarked on livestock farming of chicken-layered egg production and duck farming. Mr. Tavatuna announced that in the coming weeks, government officials will be in Medang to release funding for the new state-of-art abattoir to enable livestock farmers to sell their produce directly, maximizing profit. Further to that, the provincial government is also looking at developing the Dilo plantation for downstream processing of coconuts. This is work in progress.
Manam resettlement SME. 1 million kina and blow other SME lo supporting more farmers thing. Suppose you know what is the financial literacy training certificate, you don't have Sims to help him. You must Sims the training so government got confidence that you come to Sim support. Now you got the certificate or by got trust and confidence. You by go and increase him the money, increasing 1 kina, you go 3 kina.
Mr. Sirar empowered the group with a 45,000 kina commitment for a small fisheries operation training and a 40-horse-powered banana boat that would come under the fisheries sector support. Sirar also stated that Sarang village would be used as a model village for coastal fisheries in Medang province. During the celebration, NFA granted Sarang entry into a new phase of the Coastal Fisheries Development Program. The event was also attended by representatives of various stakeholders, including the Commerce Division of the Provincial Administration and World Vision. Representatives from neighboring Kakum, Tokain Magyar, and Dilup came along. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed lower at 0.2710 US dollars in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying 0.2635 US dollars, 0.4134 Australian dollars, 0.2422 euro, and 39.08 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, cocoa, copper, crude oil, and copper closed higher. Gold, coffee, and palm oil closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TV1 News. We'll have news from abroad when we come back. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Hey, one talk. Want to win one of 4 Costa buses? Simply collect 6 SP Lager Red promo caps and enter the draw at a participating store near you. There are heaps of other great prizes to win too, like SP Hunters jerseys and other awesome SP Lager gifts. So enter the draw today for a chance to win. There's a bus to be won in Islands, Southern, Momase, and in New Guinea Islands. SP Lager, Bungim Yumi!
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
It takes a lot to be a rodeo kid.
Some people let nerves get to them, some people don't.
She don't take losing very well.
It does make a mama nervous.
It's gonna happen. You just don't know when or how bad it's gonna be.
It's good in the rodeo industry to have a very short memory.
Kid Rodeo, a brand new series coming soon on Outdoor.
On the ground, the Fijian. Kebalo, oh, Butterfingers there out of the hands of Dottie. You've got to be careful. He's up. Ramos in the corner.
Welcome to MotoGP. To be a highly dramatic 18-lap Malaysian Grand Prix Moto2 started with.
So that's a very decent middle sector for the Alpine. They only have some.
Oh. They have crashed. They've gone into each other. What a start for Will Davison. Di Pasquale has been swamped.
Some of the biggest and most talented egos in sailing.
The two-time defending champions make it 2 in a row.
Welcome back. In regional news, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has welcomed Fiji Prime Minister Sitiveni Rabuka to Australia from October 16 to 21 for an official guest of government visit. Australia and Fiji have a close and long-standing relationship that is underpinned by mutual respect and trust. The Prime Ministers will renew and elevate the Fiji-Australia Vuvulave partnership, which has set out the shared principles and priorities since 2019 and work together to strengthen peace, prosperity and resilience in the Pacific. Australia and Fiji acknowledge that climate change remains the single greatest threat to the livelihood, security and well-being of the region. Both countries are committed to taking ambitious climate action and boosting disaster resilience. The outcome of Australia's referendum on a First Nations voice is still sinking in for many communities. Thursday Island in the Torres Strait voted nearly 70% yes in each state, which voted roughly 70% no. Locals are now considering the next steps on a path to self-determination.
The grassroots campaign in the Torres Strait, and here it was one that paid off.
Educating community, getting them behind, the yes vote, and pretty stoked, 72%.
In the state with the strongest no vote, this island region said yes to the voice. The final outcome wasn't what many people here hoped for.
It's not the first time that we've been said no to before. It's not the first time we've been in this position where we have to keep fighting.
I want to say gutted, but disappointed, and I feel for all the ones that campaigned.
But as one campaign finishes, another one begins. The community here looking to the future.
Take your time, whatever it is, to heal, to feel good again. Get up and let's go again.
For some islanders, that means setting a new course.
Like for me, what I'm thinking now is I should just focus on my people and my own kingdom.
Home to Indigenous land rights activist Eddie Mabo, the Torres Strait has its own plans for self-determination. Outlined in a document known as the Mussig Statement, the region hopes to achieve autonomy by 2037. It's an ambitious vision, supported even by those who voted no.
For self-determination, for autonomy, for all that, you got to give us that one. Don't set up an organisation to manage us.
Many here are still reflecting on the vote's outcome. Emotions are still raw.
I'm proud of who we are, and I'm very hopeful that we'll come back from this.
Taking time to reflect and reset.
Pacific leaders in New Zealand fear they will have little or no voice in the new national-led government, with the real possibility of not a single Pacific person making it onto the new coalition. Labour had 11 Pacific members of parliament, then 10 when Chris Fa'afoe left. Included was Carmel Sepuloni, who became Deputy Prime Minister when Chris Hipkins became leader. On Saturday, at a Pacific Election Watch party in Christchurch, most attendees opted to socialize outside instead of watching the results. Views on what's to come for Pacifica are mixed. There's some excitement for change, but also nerves. A common thread was concern the Ministry for Pacific Peoples would be scrapped. Western Australia becomes the first state to set limits on the number of firearms a licensed gun owner can have. Designed to stop the flow of legal firearms onto the black market, the state government's proposed laws would see farmers restricted to 10 guns and recreational shooters limited to 5.
Poised to pull the trigger on nation-leading gun laws.
All of you, put your hands out the window!
The government plans to set limits on the number of licensed firearms a person can own. Any excess will need to be sold or surrendered.
Western Australia's proposed firearm laws are going to be the strictest in the country.
This is the largest overhaul of gun laws in Western Australia's history. And for the first time, public safety will be elevated above all else.
Recreational hunters and target shooters will be limited to 5 guns. Competitive shooters belonging to licensed gun clubs can have up to 10, with elite competitors able to apply for more. Farmers and other primary producers will be limited to 10.
It is just enough to meet all the needs. I mean, there's all sorts of different classes of firearms for different things.
Farmers say they're obligated to protect crops and livestock from a range of vermin, which requires a range of guns, but 10 should cut it. The laws, drafted with input from police, follow more than 100 meetings with stakeholders and WA communities.
I put officers out there every day in harm's way, so less guns on the street is safer for my officers and safer for the community.
Details of the proposal, which includes a state government-funded buyback scheme, will be tabled in Parliament this week.
Of course, the devil will be in the detail.
How do we arrive at 5 firearms for a particular section of the firearm community and 10 firearms at another section of the firearm community? I think that we all should be treated equally under the legislation.
Members of the public can submit feedback via the WA Police website until November 14.
Scientist and former Australian of the Year Michelle Simmons has been awarded this year's Prime Minister's Prize for Science. It's the latest in a long line of achievements for Michelle Simmons and her team at the University of New South Wales in Sydney. Their work on quantum computing will enable complex problems to be solved in minutes rather than hundreds or thousands of years.
Computer really is a new form of computer. It's transformational. It does calculations in parallel rather than sequential, and so it really allows us to do things that we simply wouldn't be able to do in a useful time frame. And so they're things like drug designs. They take about 10 years. They're very expensive processes. The chances of them working are very low. So having a computer that can do very complex calculations in real time really helps sort out some of those major problems that we just can't do with classical computing right now. When we started 20 years ago, we said we want to make the smallest electronic devices with the highest precision out of individual atoms. And at that time, it was kind of unimaginable. People said it was impossible to do that. No one's ever done it before. We actually were very bold. We put out an 8-stage process of how you actually do that. How do you get a single atom into a crystal and then encode information on it? Each of the 8 stages hadn't been done, and a lot of people said, look, the chances of doing each one is pretty hard. The chances of all of them is impossible. And so it's been a journey with the team to just take on those really hard technical challenges and to nail something here in Australia.
Papua New Guinea has so much to offer. This was the message relayed by the Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, during the 2-day of the inaugural Papua New Guinea Asia Investment Conference in Hong Kong. Minister Maru, who was instrumental in the hosting of this conference in Asia, headlined Session 5 with the topic, PNG Ready for Investment.
Two of the inaugural Papua New Guinea Asia Investment Conference started at 9 p.m. Hong Kong time. That's 11 a.m. PNG time, with the Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, presenting the vast multi-sectoral opportunities PNG has on offer at the Kowloon Shangri-La Hotel. Sessions 1 to 4 were concluded on Monday in day 1 of the conference, with Prime Minister James Marape welcoming investors to PNG before departing for Beijing, China. Minister Maru, who was instrumental in the hosting of this conference in Asia, headlined Session 5 with the topic PNG Ready for Investment. He outlined that PNG is resource-rich, with 9 projects in the mining and petroleum sector, with new projects coming up. Apart from that, PNG boasts the 3rd largest forest resource in the world, fertile land for the agricultural development, and the potential for solar, hydro, and thermal projects, and of course its tourism potential. Among the key government targets is the use of special economic zones as the primary driver of inclusive and sustainable economic growth. Minister Maru said economic zones will be established right around the country. The government will start with 6 economic zones first, where incentives, land, infrastructure and support will be provided to private sector to invest.
Our government has now decided economic zones will be the primary driver of economic growth in Papua New Guinea. We've learned from the Philippines, we've learned from Thailand, we've learned from China, and the countries that have done very well and transformed the economies using economic zones as the key vehicle that the governments have used right across the world, and Papua New Guinea is going on the same path.
He added that the government is prioritizing law and order to create a conducive environment for investors. Jasmine Irujak, TVWAN News.
The head of Food and Agriculture Organization, Bear Mandel, says using technology to sustain water is the way forward to preserve water in dry season. Mandel said technologies such as water harvesting and water shortage are some methods that can be used in communities to preserve water. He was speaking during the commemoration of World Water Day in Port Moresby yesterday.
Water harvest and water storage technology method are few techniques that can be used in communities to sustain and preserve water in times of dry season. Head of Food and Agriculture Organization, Bar Mandel, said this during the commemoration of World Food Day on Monday, that FAO has implemented these techniques to help communities sustain water and at the same time prepare them for the dry season.
There are a lot of technology, like we call it water. Let me give you an example. Water harvesting technology. Now in the village area, you have plenty of house and aluminum sheet. Simply if you can harvest rainwater, and from that rainwater, we can do the gardening. Other example, sometimes I see in the city area, while they construct the house and building, they don't leave a single area which is not covered by the cement or concrete. I would request leave a small area open. Don't cover all your area with the concrete. So water will go inside. It will work as a recharge.
He said there are few crops that can be planted using less water.
You are growing the sweet potato. We have drought-resistant variety, which we are distributing in high areas, in highland areas, in other areas, which need less water than any other crop. Then we use the mulching. Mulching means we cover the field with a black plastic, so it does not evaporate so quickly. So it saves the water in the soil. So you need less soil, less water to grow the food. So I will say, let us grow food with less water. Utilize it very properly.
Mandel said most communities in PNG are already starving from the dry season, and FAO is currently running projects such as the Drought Project and El Nino Mitigation Project to help these communities. He said water is essential for life and people must learn the basic steps of how to preserve water in preparation for dry season and also in situations where there is no water. Trace Sipa, TV1 News.
And that ends the news segment. Join Jasmine after the break.
Want more data for less? Get it now with Digicel's revamped Red Club. Enjoy data bundles from as low as 1 GB per gigabyte. Plus rollover data, the widest coverage, fastest speeds, and best reliability. Only with Red Club. Join Digicel's exclusive Red Club today and get loads more data for less. Yes! Data bundles from as low as 1 GB per gigabyte. Whoa! Join today for as low as 10 GB weekly to access discounted data bundles and get more data for less. Dial *675# or visit the My Digicel app today. The Red Club, only with Digicel.
Change your TV plan to a postpaid plan and save more than 100 kina. Get a 30-day 40-channel plan for only 85 kina and get a free DTV plan to watch rugby league,
blink and you miss it,
or Filipino dramas from anywhere you want. Good idea. How awesome is that?
What a moment!
Dial 1515 to speak to a TV agent and get yourself a postpaid TV plan today. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
Australia's favorite chef is taking you around the world to meet amazing people.
Teach me how to make this one.
Experience delicious food.
Bon appetit.
And discover the most incredible flavors.
Yum. Nice.
This is a culinary expedition on a budget.
50 rupees. That's a deal. Whoa.
Cheers. Around the world with Manu Fidel. Streaming now on Outdoor.
For the first time ever, Backroads leaves Australian soil.
Hi, I'm Tanya Bale.
I'm excited to show off a part of Papua New Guinea that's close to my heart.
To uncover the vibrant and resilient spirit of Rabaul.
It's a place where nature's glory can suddenly be eclipsed by its fury.
The mountains, the volcanoes, the ocean cannot speak. We will tell the story.
Backroads, Sunday on ABC Australia.
This October, we are treating you to brand new spooky adventures of your favorite Nick Jr. friends, like Blaze and the Monster Machines, Baby Shark, and Blue's Clues Anew, followed by exciting power hours of Paw Patrol. Don't miss the Nick Jr. Spooky Specials, October 28th and 29th at these times, only on Nick Jr. Also available on demand. Check with your local operator for more info.
I've worked for 50 years in this area of women's health. I'd achieved some things, but I had not had an impact on the 60% of women who have no care. I can't just finish my career and ignore the majority of women, for heaven's sake. That's not a reasonable thing to do.
She's probably at high risk of losing the baby if she does not have access to a properly equipped health facility and a hospital, actually.
No, this plan by blind Mimico. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back. Digicel, through its marketing division, has again come on board to support this year's AgMark CIPIC 9s tournament, scheduled for the 24th and the 25th of November 2023 in Wewak. Digicel, as silver sponsor, will be giving away 300 pieces of company merchandise, including gift packs, mobile phones and flex cards to the grand finalists, both men and women teams, and individual awards. A short presentation was underway today with Digicel Marketing and at the Digicel headquarters in Port Moresby. AgMark CIPIC 9's Director Bradley Simon acknowledged and expressed sincere gratitude to Digicel for their generous support. He said it will add value to the tournament as it did last year.
Thank you to Digicel, Digicel PNG for again coming on board as one of our partners and sponsors to the AgMark CIPIC 9s. Last year is our naming rights to the telecast, live telecast broadcast on TV, and then unfortunately to our people, I think this year we won't do the same because of other commitments. We have, I think, the South Pacific Games, I think, and PNG Games also. So, but with the support from Digicel, I think with the packages that will go to all the men of the match, I think all men of the match of all the games that we'll have. So thank you, Digicel, for again coming on board for this year. We look forward for your support in the next years to come.
Now we'll have the weather for the main centers for the next 24 hours.
Weather for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Southend, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Port Moresby, partly cloudy with evening brief showers and drizzles. Momase, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lae, cloudy, few showers and drizzles. Wewak Medan, mostly fine. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Kokopo, Rabaul, cloudy with few showers, and Kimbe, few showers. Highlands, scattered showers and thunderstorms with areas of rain. Mendi and Wabeg, few showers and possible thunderstorm. Ocean forecast for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, seas slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, seas slight with northeast to easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daro to Kiwai Islands to Kerma to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.